Drones with cameras come in a range of shapes and sizes, from folding pocket rockets to hefty professional craft. Smaller models can be nimble but susceptible to gusts of wind, while larger models sacrifice portability for a heavier payload. So whether you're looking to get into drone photography or just want an indoor drone to fly around your living room, we've got some recommendations. All the drones are linked in the description and updated for best pricing. Starting things off with the ryze Tello, best beginner drone under $100. The Tello is powered by DJI, which means it packs the same tech you'll find in today's very best drones. It comes in 3 versions, all of which use the same aircraft body type, are equally easy to fly and can be programmed using Scratch, which is MIT's coding system for kids. The Tello's body is made from a sturdy plastic and its 4 propellers arm are fixed in place. Most pilots will be flying the Tello via the app, but what is cool to know is that the Tello is also compatible with dual-stick Bluetooth controllers, such as those found on the PlayStation or Xbox. Fortunately, the app is well put together and far easier to use than many of the others which accompany similarly priced aircraft. Whether flying via the app or controller, once launched, the Tello hovers a meter or so above the ground and does a great job of maintaining height and position indoors, without exhibiting the drift issues that hamper many similarly priced drones. The tech works really well and is way more impressive than anything we've seen on any price rival. It even keeps the Tello stable over uneven surfaces such as stairs and over different floor levels. The drone makes smooth, precise movements during flight and responds very quickly to the pilot's control inputs. You always feel completely in control of the Tello when flying indoors. The Tello has 2 flying speeds, with the faster one making a big increase to the aircraft's maneuvering speed. It also has a number of preset flight modes, which you can select by swiping through a selection screen on the app. Some are useful, such as the circle and 360, which record video as the Tello spins in a circle or rotates on the spot. And like most entry-level drones, the Tello captures recorded content directly onto your phone via an app. Given that it's a few years since launch, it's not a big surprise that the Tello's 27p video and 5MP stills do not measure up to the 4K cameras found on some newer alternatives. But while some newer drones may have better capture resolution, few can rival the Tello's built-in stabilization software, which gives far smoother video than any of its rivals. Similarly, there is no lag or any dropped frames when using the app live view, when the Tello and phone are not too far from each other. The Tello's impressive positioning system make it the easiest to operate mini drone around, while its built-in video stabilization software give the smoothest results of any toy drone. A well-rounded variety of flight modes make it fun to use, and its app is one of the most well-designed we've seen, and for less than $100, it's a no-brainer. Next up, we have the DJI Air 2, the best all-rounder. Launched in 2020, the Air 2 is still a great option to consider, with a sturdier build than the tiny Mini 2, along with much improved flight times of up to an impressive 30 minutes from a full charge. It has some impressive camera specs, capable of shooting 4K video at 60 FPS and capturing 48MP photos. The 4K video records at a higher bitrate of 120 megabits per second, and it shows in the amount of detail. You can also record in HDR in 4K at 30 frames per second, which helps balance out things like clouds where you'd normally lose some detail in highlights, as well as bring up shadow detail. The Air 2 can also do 1080p slow motion at 120 and 240 FPS. It's nice to have the 240 FPS option, but it seems to come with a dip in video quality. On the other hand, the 120 FPS looks great. Like the original, the Air 2 can track subjects you select just by drawing a box around them on your phone screen in the DJI Fly app. DJI updated its active track mode for improved subject recognition and obstacle avoidance, which means you can walk through trees or other obstacles and the drone will automatically go over or around, which is just great for peace of mind. The Air 2 has a top speed of 42.5 miles per hour and APAS 3.0 technology, which helps it more fluidly navigate around obstacles instead of just stopping to avoid them. When it comes to the controller, it's larger than the last, and instead of your phone awkwardly sandwiched below the controls, it's now clipped up top. Its sticks are still removable for travel and stored in the bottom. Overall, for most people who aren't super experienced hobbyists or professional drone users, we have the DJI Mini 2, the best drone for most people. DJI has unveiled a new version of its smallest and lightest camera drone, and we think this mid-range drone is the best choice for people who want a serious flyer. The Mini 2 weighs in at 249 grams, roughly 8.8 ounces, which is significant because it means that in the US at least, you don't need to register it with the FAA. Though it costs $50 more than the original Mavic Mini, it comes with a few key upgrades and many of the best features you'll find on the company's larger models. It folds up neatly for easy portability, includes the company's Sony's new compact controller, which also folds up and can fly for up to 31 minutes on a charge. And the Mini 2 features support for DJI's OcuSync 2, which is a wireless technology which both enhances connection strength and extends its range to 6.2 miles, roughly 10 kilometers. Another great feature here is that the GPS system also makes autonomous and semi-autonomous flight possible. The Mini 2 has a number of automated quick shots, automated flight path that circle, corkscrew or pull back and away. DJI also include a geofence system, FlySafe. It prevents you from taking off in restricted airspaces, including those set up to prevent unauthorized flight around major sporting events, during wildfires or at a national park. The Mini 2's updated 4K camera is amazing. You can now shoot 4K video at up to 30 frames per second with solid 2x digital zoom performance, and as with the previous model, 12 megapixel photographs. The 3-axis motorized gimbal ensures you end up with smooth shots. The footage looks surprisingly good for a sensor of this size. Daylight footage looks crisp throughout and the color doesn't look overly processed, and there is even enough information there for you to do minor color edits in post-production if you really want to, but most people will be happy with videos straight out of the camera. Another thing that makes it more enjoyable to fly are the stronger motors. It makes the drone able to sustain high winds on par with some of the more powerful DJI drones like the Mavic 2 Pro and Zoom. One of the reasons that the foldable drone is so light is that it has no sensor for obstacle avoidance and recognition. That means there will be a learning curve and some crashing. The upside is that you will actually learn how to fly it, and once you get the hang of it, the Mini 2 is stable, nimble, safe to fly and quieter than other DJI models. The Mini 2 is a culmination of some of the best things DJI can offer inside a minuscule package, starting with an always reliable and steady connection, more than adequate camera and a great software experience. This drone strikes a near perfect balance between price, mobility and image quality.